Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. President's rule in Jammu and Kashmir after expiry of 6 months of Governor's rule. Lok Sabha passes the Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2016. The bill aims to prohibit commercial surrogacy and unethical practices relating to it. ISRO successfully launches geostationary communication satellites GSAT-7A onboard GSLV F-11. NITI Aayog releases strategy document for New India. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley says reforms and entrepreneurship have to be accompanied by social consciousness. A Delhi court sends Christian Michel to judicial custody till 28th of this month in AgustaWestland VVIP chopper case. India reiterates its continued support to usher in a new era of peace and stability in the Korean peninsula. President's rule will come into force in Jammu and Kashmir from midnight tonight after the expiry of 6 months of Governor's rule. President Ramnath Kovind today issued a proclamation to this effect. Earlier, the Union Cabinet had given its go-ahead for President's rule after the 19th of December. Governor's rule was imposed in Jammu and Kashmir after the state plunged into political turmoil following BJP's withdrawal of its support from the PDP-BJP ruling coalition, reducing the PDP to a minority. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that empowerment of grassroots institutions is a significant step in taking Jammu and Kashmir away from the path of violence and in securing the rights and development of the local people. Mr. Modi said this while interacting with 48 newly elected sarpanches of panchayats from Jammu and Kashmir who called on him in New Delhi today. The Prime Minister exhorted them to strive for the welfare and upliftment of people. The Lok Sabha has passed the Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2016 amid din. The bill is aimed at prohibiting commercial surrogacy and unethical practices relating to it. The bill has provisions to constitute a national surrogacy board, state surrogacy boards, and appointment of appropriate authorities for regulation of surrogacy. It permits surrogacy only for couples who cannot conceive a child. The intended couple must be Indian citizens and married for at least 5 years, with at least one of them being infertile. The surrogate mother has to be a close relative who has been married and has a child of her own. Introducing the bill, Health Minister J.P. Nadda said the bill is aimed at stopping the exploitation of Indian women.
It is towards the pure altruistic surrogacy, completely banning the commercial surrogacy, which will prevent exploitation of women in India, and in future the children born through surrogacy will be taken care.
NCP member Supriya Sule favoured the bill to permit single parents also to have children through surrogacy. Meanwhile, the deadlock between the government and the opposition over the demand for setting up of a joint parliamentary committee probe into the acquisition of Rafale fighter jets continued to disrupt proceedings in both houses of parliament for the 7th day today. The Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha were adjourned for the day on Rafale and other issues. In the Lok Sabha, Congress members created ruckus since the House met for the day in support of their demand, with some of them displaying placards. AIADMK members sought to withdraw permission for a detailed project report for the proposed Mekedatu Dam across River Kaveri. TDP members were also in the well seeking financial benefits for Andhra Pradesh. Some BJP members raised slogans against Congress chief Rahul Gandhi for his allegations against the government on the Rafale deal. Mallikarjun Kharge of the Congress alleged that there were irregularities in the aircraft deal leading to loss to the public exchequer.
The decision has been arbitrary against the security of the nation. The matter needs to be investigated by joint parliamentary committee to fix accountability, and this is very important matter.
Parliamentary Affairs Minister Narendra Singh Tomar rejected the opposition demand for a JPC. He, however, assured that the government is ready for a detailed discussion on the issue. He said the apex court has cleared all the air over the deal.
पूरा देश इस बात का साक्षी है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो निर्णय दिया है उससे दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो गया है। पूरे देश में कोई शंका नहीं है, कोई सुबह नहीं है, जेपीसी की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। जो नोटिस दिए गए पक्ष की तरफ से भी विपक्ष की तरफ से भी उन पर चर्चा करने के लिए सरकार पूरी तरह तैयार है।
Later, Speaker Sumitra Mahajan adjourned the House for the day as noisy scenes continued. The Rajya Sabha also failed to transact any business for the seventh day today as Rafale aircraft deal and other issues rocked the House. Some of the Congress MPs sought an apology from the government for allegedly misleading both the House and the Supreme Court on the acquisition and pricing of Rafale jets, while others rushed into the well holding placards to demand a JPC into the deal. Amidst din, Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Vijay Goyal accused the Congress of disrupting proceedings and said the government is ready for discussion on all issues, including Rafale. As noisy scenes continued, the chairman adjourned the House till tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said the Congress party has humiliated every institution of democracy, be it the army or the CAG. Mr. Modi said this while interacting with booth-level party workers of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry through video conferencing from New Delhi. He asked party workers to increase their outreach by creating awareness about his government's welfare schemes. He said, from housing to healthcare and sanitation to skills, there are schemes for every age group and section of society. The Bharatiya Janata Party has emerged as a clear winner in the Haryana municipal elections, sweeping all the 5 mayoral seats in 5 municipal corporations, Rohtak, Karnal, Hisar, Panipat and Yamunanagar. Haryana Chief Minister M.L. Khattar had credited the government's policies and party's hard work for the unprecedented mandate the BJP has received in the civic polls. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. The Indian Space Research Organisation ISRO today successfully launched geostationary communication satellite GSAT-7A onboard geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle GSLV F-11. The exclusive advanced communication satellite separated from the rocket 19 minutes after the launch. Our correspondent reports that the rocket blasted off at 4:10 this afternoon from the second launch pad at Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota.
The last launch for this year was a spectacular one in the bright evening sky at the Satish Dhawan Space Centre, Sriharikota. 3,
liquid is just ignited.
1, 0.
Ignited and lift off. अब रॉकेट इस समय
5 seconds.
लिफ्ट ऑफ नॉर्मल, जैसा कि आरओडी ने अनाउंस किया, नॉर्मली लिफ्ट ऑफ है इसका.
Beautiful view of GSLV clearing the skies, getting into the denser atmosphere, and you can hear the noise or the roar of GSLV climbing into the atmosphere.
With orange balls of fire lifting up the 54-meter tall satellite, which climbed up into the sky with a roar and a white trail of smoke, the separation stages also took place at the scheduled time without any deviation. ISRO fraternity congratulated each other with an anxious expectation for a more historic achievement next year. Joy, AR News, reporting from Sriharikota.
Speaking after the launch, ISRO Chairman K. Sivan said it was a grand success. He said GSLV has safely injected the satellite into the super-synchronous transfer orbit within the prescribed time limit. The satellite is the 35th Indian communication satellite built by ISRO to provide communication capability to the users in Ku band over the Indian region. The mission life of the new satellite is 8 years. NITI Aayog today unveiled its comprehensive national strategy for New India, which defines clear objectives for 2022-23. Releasing the document, Mr. Jaitley said reforms and entrepreneurship have to be accompanied by social consciousness. The finance minister said the various verticals of NITI Aayog's strategy document gives form to the Indian model, which emphasizes on faster growth and better resource utilization to improve quality of life for all.
evolve this model where you allow India to grow, you allow entrepreneurship, you allow private sector to play a very important role, you get the government in to supplement where private sectors are not available, you utilize these increased resources of the government of the state towards a better infrastructure, better townships, better healthcare facilities, better educational opportunity, and you put a large part of it as a resource in order to service the poor.
Our correspondent reports the strategy document advocates empowering and encouraging women to participate across all sectors of the economy to build a strong and inclusive new India. It vouches for the transformation of the rural economy, creating a policy environment that enables income security for farmers and modernizing agricultural technology for doubling farmers' income. Later, talking to media, NITI Aayog Vice Chairman Rajiv Kumar said modernization of the agriculture sector and creation of entrepreneurs are important to address the problems in the sector. Key equity benchmarks extended gains for 7th session in a row. A report.
BSE Sensex rose 137 points or 0.4% to settle at 36,484. Nifty 50 index rose 59 points or 0.5% to settle at 10,967. BSE mid-cap index rose 1.5% while small-cap index rose 1.09%. Both these indices outperformed the Sensex. Rupee at the forex market today strengthened by 4 paise to 70 rupees 40 paise against the dollar. Lalema Aneja Dang with G. Subramanian for AIR News.
A Delhi court today sent alleged middleman Christian Michel, arrested in the AgustaWestland VVIP chopper case, to judicial custody till the 28th of this month. Michel was produced before Special Judge Arvind Kumar on expiry of his CBI custody. Earlier in the day, the court reserved its order till Saturday on a bail plea of Michel. The 57-year-old British national was arrested in the UAE and extradited to India on the 4th of this month. The next day, Michel was produced in the court, which allowed his 5-day custodial interrogation by the CBI, later extended by 5 more days. Michel is among the 3 alleged middlemen being probed in the case by the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI. The other 2 are Guido Hashke and Carlo Gerosa. India today reiterated its continued support to usher in a new era of peace and stability in the Korean peninsula. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj said India and South Korea also shared the view that terrorism in all its forms and manifestations is a global scourge and resolved to combat it through coordinated regional and global efforts. In a joint media address with Foreign Affairs Minister of Korea, Ms. Kang Kyung-hwa, Ms. Swaraj Setri and Ms. Kang also exchanged views on regional and global issues of common interest. Ms. Swaraj conveyed to Ms. Kang that India sees the Republic of Korea as an indispensable partner in its Act East policy and in its vision of the Indo-Pacific. Ms. Swaraj said both sides agreed to raising the quantum of the bilateral trade to $50 billion by the year 2030.
We agreed to redouble our efforts to realize our leaders' vision of raising the quantum of our bilateral trade to $50 billion by the year 2030. We shared the view that early conclusion of ongoing negotiations to upgrade our bilateral comprehensive economic partnership agreement, that is CEPA, and implementation of trade facilitation measures already agreed upon will help us move towards this target.
Civil Aviation Minister Suresh Prabhu today said India has retained its Category 1 rating under the International Aviation Safety Assessment Program. Briefing reporters in New Delhi today, Mr. Prabhu said safety remains top priority for the government in the aviation industry. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. President's rule in Jammu and Kashmir after expiry of 6 months of governor's rule. Lok Sabha passes Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2016. The bill aims to prohibit commercial surrogacy and unethical practices relating to it. ISRO successfully launches geostationary communication satellite GSAT-7A onboard GSLV F-11. NITI Aayog releases strategy document for New India. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley says reforms and entrepreneurship have to be accompanied by social consciousness. A Delhi court sends Christian Michel to judicial custody till 28th of this month in AgustaWestland VVIP chopper case. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.